The difference between an enumerator and a denominator is just a little line. I know only a fraction of the people out there will get that, but Buzz's Retirement Garage, The Ramblings of a Retired Lunatic, episode 18. 18 already, holy cow. Anyway, it's just a rambling of some things. I haven't done a video this week, so I kind of bottled it all up, and I'm going to let it all out now. And I just got done watching I guess it was a story. This really interests me because I always think it's BS, but there's so many stories about this that you begin to wonder if there's any truth behind it. I guess a Daily Mail, I guess out of England maybe, or Britain, England, something like that out there, overseas, over the pond. They published a story that the CIA has actually printed out. There's a document, it's a printed out document that somebody has, that said about 35 years ago, let me fix this, this has got an angle bothering me. About 35 years ago, there was a UFO. And there's an ambulance chasing that UFO. There's a retirement home. I've spoke before. There's a retirement home down the other street. And every time I hear that ambulance, I just kind of wonder, is that it? Will that be me one day? But no, there was a UFO that was shot down in Siberia, in Russia, 35 years ago. And it said it was shot down with a surface-to-air missile. The craft was shot down, and 5 aliens came out, and they melded into one entity, and then got bright and blew up, and froze or turned a bunch of soldiers into stone. I thought, could that be true? And it wasn't the National Enquirer, it was the Daily Mail, so I think there's a difference between them, I'm not sure, but no, I mean, it was from the CIA, so is it true? I don't know. But that was just interesting to me. So anyway, I was just telling somebody about the stock market ride. I was just telling somebody yesterday, as a matter of fact. They asked me how I thought about it. And I basically said, I took the slide, just like a lot of you probably did. Some of you, I know, you emailed me before, and we've talked about it on our lives on Saturday night at 7 Eastern, that you got out of the stock market and you're pretty heavy into cash, or bonds, which we should be doing as we age. The rule is that as we age, you're supposed to stay out of the market. You're supposed to go a little bit into bonds and cash and kind of stay out of the market, or you start to lessen your exposure to the market. Some of you do. I actually pulled out some money because I had to do some IRAs because of my YouTube income and my ACA. If you follow my channel, you know that my YouTube income last year I had to do something with, because I was on the ACA for 2024, and I only told them at the beginning of the year that I was just going to make Social Security money, because I had no idea at the beginning of 2024 that I would make money, a lot of money, and well, not a lot, but a considerable amount of money in the YouTube land. So I had to put that into IRAs. So my wife's able to do 8,000. I was able to do 8,000. That's the limits. And then I did a SEP IRA for a couple thousand to compensate for the 18,000. So that being said, I pulled that money out of the market to do those IRAs. So I mean, I guess it was a good thing. And I've got them. The only bad thing is I got them in CD. Well, good and bad. I got them in CDs. That they're called rising rate CDs, and they're for 1 year. Well, I did mine for 1 year, and we did hers for 3 years. And what happens is it's about 4%, a little less than 4% now, and then over, like for mine, at the end of the year, it'll be 4.2%. So every quarter, it goes up like 0.1%. And then hers is similar, but it's 3 years. and it's actually going to get up to 4.4, 4.5% by the third year. And that's just safe money that we can put away and not worry about, because I know rates are eventually going to go lower. But anyway, so this person I was talking to said, what'd you think of the slide? And I said, you know what I did yesterday? I said, me and Mrs. Buzz, we took the slide down on the stock market, and then we went to Red Lobster. We waxed that slide and spent another $100 on top of that. So in a weird way, we were celebrating the stock market going down. And I was just telling somebody today, I actually asked them if I could borrow $50,000 because there's so many good buys out there right now that I want to grab. And that's what I'm looking for cash right now. It's like, I can't take those CDs out or cash them out without a penalty. And actually, I don't think I can cash them out until after the 16th, right? In April? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. But I just need some cash so I can invest. And I'll wait probably till next week and see how things go. I'm in no hurry. But, man, there's some good buys out there now. I'm telling you, there's some good buys. But I'll keep an eye on it next week and see if I can come up with something and figure something out. I'll get my YouTube check at, I think, about the 24th or something like that at the end of this month. So if the market's still down by then, might be, I doubt it, but it could be. And then maybe I'll be able to throw something in there at that time. Just came back from Sam's Club and actually bought 4 chickens. There's 4 chickens and a loaf of white bread, or how does that go? The Blues Brothers? No, 2 pieces of white toast, right? And a whole chicken. I think that's how it goes. But, yeah, I got 4 chickens because they had pulled out, the guy had put, the chickens are, if you've been to Sam's Club before, it's, $4.99 and they're still in the plastic containers. And they were marked 11:38 a.m. So they were about 2 hours, 3 hours old by the time I got there. And then he was putting out some new ones. So I had 2 of them. I picked up 2. And that's usually what me and Mrs. Buzz get is 2 of them. Then I decided to go ahead and get 2 more because they just came out of the oven fresh or off the rotisserie. And they looked really good. So I threw 2 more of those in the cart. So when I got home, I skinned the first 2. Took all the meat off of it. I call it skinned, but I took all the meat off of it. And then each chicken I put in a gallon bag, freezer bag. So we could put that in soups, or we could give it to the cats, or we could do something for $5 a bag. I think it's a good deal. I don't know what cat food's going to do as far as price-wise. I don't know, like, the tariffs, how they're going to affect food prices. At least for me, I don't know. Like, I know a lot of stuff comes from overseas, but then a lot of stuff that Sam's has comes from California. Their cherries are from California. Their cauliflower, I believe, is from there. The asparagus prices have been coming down, but I can't remember where they come from. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that and see how the food prices are affected. And I was just telling somebody else the other day that somebody had asked me, because, I'm a Christmas light fan. And they said, Christmas lights are going to be affected because, everything's coming from overseas on Christmas lights. And I said, well, there's a guy local, his name's John Campbell, and he actually makes Christmas lights. And he actually gets molds. He makes the molds or buys the molds. And then he has a little storefront. And his latest creation is lighted ice. If you remember back in the 60s and 70s, the ice that they look like ice cubes or round ice things. They look like glass, small pieces of glass around. Well, that's what he made, but he made it out of plastic, and he's selling it through a company called True Tone. So it's his own design, it's his mold, I believe, and so basically, if I can buy American-made products, I'm going to do that. Now, for me, I've got everything I need, right? I'm retired. I've accumulated a lot of things. I'm in good shape. Young families, and I remember when we were, just starting out, when we had the 2 girls, Going to Walmart and buying the least expensive things that we could buy was, the best way to stretch a dollar. Now I'm not in that position where I don't need that much because I don't have to buy diapers or baby formula or any of the things that, kids, they grow out of clothes so fast. I don't have to do that. So that's a good thing. But, so what I am doing is like, and I told somebody today, my jeans I bought it from All American Clothing. And I've been talking about that, and I put a link, and I'll put a link on today too. They have shirts and some shoes and some jeans that are all made in America. Even the thread is made in America. There's, from what they say, there's nothing in their clothes that is not made in America. So, as far as jeans, why not? So I bought a pair, and I had bought 2 pairs of Levi's off of Amazon, but they were new. They had the tags on them. I bought those a year ago, or a year and a half ago, and both of them have ripped already. So I know another person, according to Nicole, her channel, she had done a video about how cheap this overseas clothes are getting because they're trying to keep the price point the same. So they're just making them they're making them cheaper, and they're not holding up as well. So I bought that All American Clothing. I bought those jeans from there. And then again, my pit barrel. I'm not buying a charbroil, which is probably made in Mexico or China. I'm not sure. A grill. I don't know where Weber's are made. I have to look that up. Are Weber's made in the U.S.? I'm not sure. But pit barrel is made in America, and he's a veteran. So I'll put a link in for the pit barrel as well. It's a good smoker combination grill. All American Clothing. And so maybe we got to try a little bit harder to buy American-made product. Now, maybe pricing on the overseas stuff will still be okay for a while, or maybe it won't get too crazy. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows, so we're going to have to just play along right now. But I'm not worried. Everything's cool. What goes down goes up, and what goes up goes down. So I'm just going to play along with it and see what happens, and not panic. That's the key. And you hear that from everybody. Don't panic. Don't panic. You're retired. Your portfolio just tanked 13, 15%, whatever. But don't panic yet. Don't panic yet. Anyway, Buzz's Retirement Garage. Out here having fun and enjoying the Cleveland weather. You guys have a good weekend, and if you get a chance, join me Saturday, tomorrow, and every Saturday, God willing, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do a Buzz Live for a $25 gift card, too. Even in these economic times, we'll continue to give a $25 gift card, courtesy of Buzz's Retirement Garage. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. See ya.